Besties, let me take you back to the very confusing and most frustrating part of my life at a very young age. And it gets worse. This is one of the most embarrassing, confusing, and emotional moments of my life. And somehow, also one of the funniest. Imagine being a young girl, seeing blood, watching your classmates disappear for days, and genuinely believing they might be dying. I'm not even joking. And the worst part? Nobody explained anything to me. This is way back when I was in primary school. I was about 11 years old, still a child, still innocent, still thinking life was simple. My biggest problems back then? Homework, or someone stealing my snacks during break time. At that age, something strange started happening to the girls around me, something nobody prepared me for. One by one, girls in my class started disappearing. Not forever, but for like a whole week. And when they came back, they were quieter, more serious, almost like they knew something the rest of us didn't. And the weirdest part? No one talked about it. They all acted like nothing happened. All I noticed before they disappeared was there was blood on their skirts. And let me tell you, I was terrified of blood. Even a small cut would make me panic. So seeing that much blood, repeatedly, from different girls, my imagination went wild. I started creating my own explanations. Because when nobody tells you the truth, your mind fills in the gaps. And my mind? Oh, it didn't hold back. I thought, these girls must be sick. No, not just sick, something serious. Maybe it's a disease. And the worst part was, they didn't just have blood stains. They also cried. Not small tears, not quiet sadness. I mean real crying. The kind of crying that makes your chest hurt just watching someone. I think apart from the stomach pain they experienced, they were all kinda terrified to what was happening to them. So now in my mind, everything connected. Blood, pain, disappearing for days, crying. Conclusion? This thing is dangerous. I remember lying in bed one night, staring at the ceiling, thinking, what if it happens to me? I felt fear, real fear, the kind that sits in your chest and refuses to leave. I even prayed. I said, God, please, I don't want that thing. Because at that time, I truly believed it was something bad, something painful, something to avoid. But life has a way of saying, you don't get to avoid growing up. And then one day, everything changed. It was a normal day at school. The sun was hot, but we kids didn't care. We were playing like we always did, laughing, running around, free. I was with my best friend. We were inseparable. If you saw me, you saw her. If you saw her, you saw me. Then suddenly, I noticed something. At first, I wasn't sure, so I looked again. And then my heart dropped. There it was, that terrifying red stain on her skirt. I froze. Everything around me went quiet. Even though other kids were still playing, still shouting and laughing, for me, everything stopped. I slowly pointed at it while shaking. She looked down, and the moment she saw it, her face changed. Confusion, shock, fear. And then she started crying. Not small crying, full crying. And me? Ooh, I joined her immediately. Because in my mind, I was like, this was it. This is that thing. And now it was happening right in front of me. She started holding her stomach, crying harder, saying it hurts. And me? I was not helping at all. Because in my mind, I was thinking, she's injured, but where? And then the worst thought came. It must be her butt. I was convinced, 100% convinced. And the funniest part, she didn't even know where the blood was coming from either. So now you have two little girls, one crying from pain, the other crying from pure confusion and wrong conclusions. Other kids started gathering around us. One of our teachers came, asking questions, trying to understand what was happening. But we were both crying too much to even explain properly. I think she finally saw a blood stain on my friend and understood. Eventually, we were taken to the staff room. But that walk felt like the longest walk of my life, because every kid by now was aware of the blood stains on my friend. Everybody was looking at her. Some knew what was happening, but some didn't have a clue, just like us. So there we were, parading the school grounds to the teacher's office with nothing to cover my friend. I believed we were going to receive really bad news. I thought they would confirm my worst fears. But instead, something completely unexpected happened. Our teacher sat us down, calm, gentle, patient. She looked at us and smiled softly. And for the first time in my life, someone explained everything. First thing, she told my friend that she was okay. Just like that. And I was like, wait, what? She continued telling us like this was normal. I was like, how is this normal? I was confused. She explained everything. Slowly, clearly, and kindly. She told us what a period is, why it happens, where the blood comes from. And as she spoke, something inside me changed. The fear started disappearing, piece by piece. And in its place, something surprising grew. First, it was curiosity. And then, jealousy. Yes, jealousy. Because suddenly, this scary thing became something powerful. Something that meant you are growing. You are becoming a woman. And I remember sitting there thinking, wait, so this is what makes you a big girl? And just like that, I wanted it, immediately. Life is funny like that. And then she added more instructions. She told us to stay clean all the time, to take care of ourselves, to be private. This is why most of the girls never explained anything to us in the name of being private. And then she said something that completely changed our behavior. She said once we start our periods, we should stay away from boys, and never explained why. That's the way things were explained to us back then, and sex topic was off limit, by the way. Now listen, the way she said it didn't sound like advice. It sounded like a warning, like boys were dangerous creatures, like they could somehow affect us. So naturally, we believed her. Immediately. From that day, we started avoiding boys, running away from them, keeping distance, acting suspicious. Those boys were so confused. They didn't know what they did wrong. But in our minds, they were a threat. That day, I was asked to escort my best friend home. When we got there, her older sister was around. And thank God for her. She handled everything, very calmly, confidently, like she had done this 1,000 times. She showed her how to use a pad, explained how to manage the pain, made her something warm to drink. And me? I was sitting there like a student in class, watching everything carefully, because I knew my time was coming soon. Or at least, I thought it was. When I got home that day, I made a bold decision. I went straight to my father and asked for money. For what? He asked. To buy pads, I said. Now imagine his situation. He probably thought, oh, it has started. He didn't ask too many questions. Maybe he didn't know how. Maybe he felt shy. Maybe he just trusted me. Whatever the case, he gave me the money. I went and bought pads. Even though nothing had started, I kept them safely in my closet, like I was preparing for something big. Now, besties, every month, my father gave me money for pads, and I accepted it every single time. My father was not the type to ask questions or have small talks with us. He was a man of action. No need to explain yourself. You ask, he gives. So my allowance increased, and I said nothing. But here's where things changed. Months and years passed, and nothing happened. No period, no sign, nothing. Now the excitement disappeared, and fear came back. But this was different. I started thinking, what if something is wrong with me? Why is everyone else having their periods except for me? I felt left behind, and I couldn't talk to anyone. Not my friends, not my father, especially not my father. Because how do I explain the money situation? So I stayed quiet and waited and waited. Until one day, at the age of 14, it finally happened. And let me tell you, it didn't come quietly. It came with drama. We were out as a family, having ice cream, laughing, enjoying the moment. Then suddenly, my little brother saw blood stain on my dress. And instead of telling me quietly, he shouted loudly, "Dad, she's bleeding!" Besties, I wanted the ground to open and swallow me. Everyone turned. Everyone. I looked at my dress, and there it was. My first period. In public, with an audience. I didn't even know what to do first, so I just ran to my brother and covered his mouth. I whispered, "Please be quiet." My father saw everything, and without saying anything, he removed his coat and wrapped it around me. That moment, I felt safe, even in embarrassment. I went to the bathroom, trying to stay calm, trying to remember everything I learned. When I got to the bathroom, I met a woman. She was a stranger. She looked at me and immediately understood. She didn't ask many questions, just one. "Is it your first time?" And I said yes. And just like that, she took care of me, like a mother would. She went outside and bought me what I needed, helped me clean up, stayed with me, comforted me. And in that moment, I didn't feel alone. I felt loved. I felt seen. It felt like I was being comforted by my own mother. She left the bathroom before I did. When I came out, my father and I tried to find her and thank her, but she was gone, just like that. I never saw her again. I believe she was an angel sent to help me, because she came exactly when I needed her and disappeared just as quietly. Besties, it really did get worse before it got better. But now I can laugh, because that moment, as embarrassing as it was, it became one of the most meaningful moments of my life. Sometimes life doesn't go how we expect, but somehow it still goes right. That day, I got my first period. My father was there, though he didn't know he was witnessing my first period, and somehow I found a mother figure too. Now I want to hear from you. Have you ever had an embarrassing first period experience? Did something unexpected happen? Did someone show up for you in a way you'll never forget? Please share your story in the comments. Let's laugh together and maybe heal a little too. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Dear Diary, it gets worse. Until next Saturday, besties. Bye!